Hello, everyone. It's day number 82. It's day number 82 of 365 days of the year. And again, I ask, what have you been doing for the past 82 days? Well, most of the time, I've been working really hard, thinking about what should I write next? What should I write next? What do I have for the people next? And there's always a next for me, right? And today I wanted to continue my conversation about my author journey. The journey has been it's been quite a ride. And yesterday I talked about how I started on this journey and where it has taken me and how far I have come from on the journey um, with these books that I am publishing all the time. It's a very difficult journey, by the way. It's not easy the easy part is writing it. The hard part is getting them published and put out there for the world to see. And sometimes I have written books just because I was in a place of fear and wondering how I was going to get out of situations. And God would plant a book, a title in my brain. And so, this particular book that I'm talking about today, 31 Days, I don't know if you can see it, 31 Days of Wholeness, um, is dedicated to my ladies, right? It's a devotional because I realized that even while I was writing this, it became a devotional for me, 31 Days of Wholeness. And what I did was, I was in San Diego at the time, and I went around to people that I knew and women that I didn't even know to ask them if they would write something in this book. At that time, I had no idea about anthologies and all of that. I was just writing a devotional to the woman of God and dedicating it to them. And those women that came alongside to pen part of their stories, they were amazing. If I were to go through the names in this book, of course, some were anonymous, but there were some that actually gave their names, and I just had a wonderful time just writing for them. I remember going to one lady who um, she used to be a drug addict, and I didn't know that. I had just met her, and she was coming out of a car, and she had a beautiful haircut, and I said, "Well, who cuts your hair?" And her barber was in the car, and she said, "That's who cuts her hair." Um, but when she got out of the car, she was walking with a cane and limping. And I started talking to her about this amazing story. And she decided to write her story so that I could put it in this amazing 31 days of wholeness. So you will hear stories about this, stories about that. Some of them are from me. Most of them are from other women that I've met along the way with their own stories. And like I said, it was published in 2016. And I don't recall anybody really talking about collaborating on a book and all of that. That's just something that God put in my headspace while I was sitting in a room, just writing and writing and writing. And when I wrote it, I had no idea how I was going to publish this. Just like with a lot of my other books, had no idea how I was going to publish this, but I just kept writing and writing. My son-in-law would come home and ask, "How many books have you written today, Mom?" Just jokingly asking that question. And I would just be belting them out, and saving them in a file, just saving them and belting them out. And this is one of those that got belted out in that season, 31 Days of Wholeness, a devotional that has the potential to change so many lives because I utilized the stories of these women to take you to a place where you could sit with God and just spend some time with Him, studying the Word and looking at the scriptures that I utilized to bring their stories off of the page and into the lives of others. It's a very easy read for those of you who don't like to read. I hear that often now. I don't like to read. Well, this is a very easy read, and you get to do it um, on your own time, in your own corner, in your own space. So if you're looking for a devotional or if you want to give one as a gift to someone, this is the story, 31 Days of Wholeness. And it gives you 31 days. And I've listened to women who have utilized it in the past say they're still utilizing it because they just keep going back and doing it over and over again. And so we just thank you again for joining me today. I just want to keep coming in a little bit just to tell you about my journey as an author. I know there are quite a few of us out there now, a lot of people trying to write, not knowing what should I write. I know I should write something. I don't know what to write. Just write. Just write. Just write what's on your heart. That's what I did. I just wrote what was on my heart. Every one of these books are heartfelt because I wrote what was on my heart to whoever would read. And that's the thing. People don't want to read, but you get to read these, whether you want to read them on Kindle or an actual book. They are out there. If you want to purchase it directly from me, they come with gifts and surprises. So, I put the link out there if you want to purchase a book, but I also wanted to encourage those future authors out there who are still sitting on a story. You're still sitting on a story. Don't die with your story. Tell it, write it. Not everyone wants to do that, but there are some of you out there that need to do that, need to do that. And for the others who just need to write to be healed, start writing in a journal. Start writing in a journal. I did that for a very, very long time before I actually thought about having a book published. So that is another little part of my author journey. And I will come back tomorrow with yet another one of my books, another one of my storybooks to tell you how I did it, why I did it, and with whom. Sometimes I did it with others, sometimes by myself. So thank you again for joining me today. And I'm wishing you a great and wonderful 82nd day of the year.